Hi, this is the Ivy League Astrologer with the June 2015 reading for Vedic Gemini. Alright, Vedic Geminis. Sorry, I always have like a little Gemini thing that happens in my head when I say the word Gemini. Okay, so the first card out for you is the Star in reverse. Feels like maybe your energy is being diverted away from where it really belongs by kind of like a laundry list of other little things, you know? It's like you need some healing or you need just some focus, and it may be kind of hard to come by this month. Maybe just at the beginning of the month as well. You may be overly focused on, you may be trying to divert your attention away from problems that can't be solved, and you may be having a little bit of trouble with that. It's almost like you have to retrain the paths in your brain. You know, if you've been working on an old problem or problems that just seem intractable, you may need to sort of change the routes upon which your brain works. And it feels like there is healing there, like there can be like a new step forward to kind of calming your mind. But it requires I think it requires you to stop plumbing the depths of an old situation, maybe an old separation. And stop trying to figure out what's hidden from you, you know. Just sort of let it be that it was disappointing. But your faith sort of needs to be renewed in what's coming up next for you. And it feels like you may be so overly focused on a past situation or on a disappointment that you're having a hard time being in the present moment, or like seeing your way forward. Because it feels like there is positive stuff that's coming for you. But you may need a little guidance out of kind of your cave in a way, or your mental prison. Because of something you didn't receive, or you missed, or that didn't turn out the way you wanted it to. This also could be somebody communicating to you from like a wrong-minded place, you know, where it's like they went inside to kind of figure out what their truth was about this, and they kind of came up with the wrong answer. I mean, you can't really label someone else's truth the wrong answer, but it feels like they're not really fully listening to their intuition. Like they're trying to just seal it off rather than really manage what's within. Like there could be like a room for a new start here that could be kind of beautiful and built slowly over time, but they are more trying to like bury the hatchet than start anew, than build something. So that could leave you feeling pretty down. But the advice is to find kind of a way out of mourning. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what it's saying for the way forward after this. But it feels like, feels like whatever sense of knowing you have about this situation or feeling like it was wrong is kind of not getting you anywhere this month. Not getting you anywhere but isolation, you know. Sorry, it's interesting. I've got actually like all the intuition cards in reverse in this spread. So I don't know if that's talking about you, Gemini, or if it's talking about someone that you're dealing with. But it seems like somebody's on the wrong track. And they're on the wrong track because they're not listening to their emotions, to the wisdom from within. Yeah, and maybe a bit suspicious of kind of what they actually feel, you know, not know how that fits into their world. Yeah, someone is walking away, thinking they're being wise, but is walking away from what would actually be quite healing for them. Because I think it would sort of split them open in this way that feels like it might be irreversible, or who they are now might be irretrievable if they let that happen. But that's really the way forward. That's the way forward to healing. So, Yeah. Yeah, I definitely see somebody leaving behind something that's quite valuable. In order to pursue something, I think that's important to them, but that is not as important as this thing that they're leaving behind. And I see somebody being kind of left behind and wounded. And the person who does the leaving behind being aware that they're hurt, but not sure how to proceed, not sure how to move any closer to them, you know, because they're afraid. I think they're afraid, A, that they don't know what to do, and B, of this same sense of that if they go there, then they'll be irretrievably changed in a way that they are not prepared for. And maybe this person has recently come out of a painful situation as well, and is kind of trying to fight their way forward in life. So they feel like they're being dragged back to something that that would be kind of off track for them. But the thing is that this is not something they're going to be able to forget. As much as they are disappointing, someone is disappointing another person's hopes, but that whoever is doing the disappointing, it's going to stay with them until it kind of comes to fruit. Like there is more in this situation, and it needs to kind of keep ripening. Yeah, so whatever this is, this thing that's being left behind, like sort of speaks to the other person's soul. And sorry, I feel like it's like there's a lot of Geminis who could be on either side of this, so I'm trying to kind of ride that middle line. But it speaks to that person's soul in a way that they don't even understand why. This came up for Gemini before about like getting sort of like astral communication from somebody and being willing to let it in, but maybe that has kind of waned, but the connection seems to be still there. But I think that whoever the person is who is doing the leaving behind is not coming around anytime real soon. I feel like they have kind of turned their face away from this problem, and that they are trying to build another structure. They're trying to build a situation of status for themselves. And this just could be in the way of career. It feels like a career. But it's like they're trying to go to the next level, whatever that is. And they're being quite grim about it, you know, like quite determined, even though they have doubts and even though things are not exactly falling into place the way that they want it to. But wherever they are going is not in the plan for them to stay. So it's not going to work out. If it's you, it's not going to work out quite in the way that you have planned. And if it's someone else, it's not going to work out the way that they had planned. But it's more just because like whatever's being left behind is actually quite valuable. And so there is a need to return to it. But I see a lot of resistance on someone's part, you know. I feel like they're kind of leaving. And again, it feels like things are kind of obstacles are appearing in the way, you know. It's like they're leaving, but they're carrying some part of this connection with them because it's not finished. And I think it's going to cause them some doubt and uncertainty as they kind of continue on their path. But again, it feels like this is something, I said it in another reading for this month, this is something they've been waiting for a long time to happen. So I think that's why it's difficult for them to leave that behind. It's like their ship is coming in, has come in, but it's not the way they expected. And another reading, I was saying that the ship has come in, but it's kind of past them. But this feels more like it's like the ship is here, yay, but it's just like way more rocky than they expected. And there's just a lot of like weird stuff that goes along with this dream that they've had that is not sitting well. So I feel like someone is in a turbulent position by the end of the month and just not certain, maybe not by the end of the month, but that's the direction that this is heading in for someone, of having to kind of rethink and I think go back to basics and probably go back and recover this whatever has been lost or left behind or left unresolved, because it is important for their plan and for their progress for them to do that. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing for June 2015 for Vedic Gemini. I hope that's helpful. And yeah, if you'd like a personal reading, then please get in touch. My link for scheduling is down below. Please note that all the times are in Pacific time. So please Google to figure out how that translates to your time zone. And my email address is theivyleagueastrologer@gmail.com. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have a good month. Thank you. Bye.